Well, the choices have been made. Chances of getting all 5 correct by guessing alone, not by psychic powers, are exactly 1 in 120. If no psychic powers were operating, statistically, you would expect to get just 1 or 2 correct. I'll now ask the 5 owners to come forward and select their wristwatches, ignoring the keys that have been matched to them. Now, gentlemen, you're standing behind your correct wristwatches. Look at the keys, if you will, please. And if they are not the correct keys, reach forward and slide them towards the front edge of the table. Now, if you please. I see. So Patrine's score actually on this is 1 out of 5. Exactly what we'd expect by chance. Gentlemen, would you retrieve your keys, your correct keys, please? Just reach across and grab them. And they must belong to you, sir. You know, it's thought-provoking to observe that the results obtained are the same as those predicted by chance. Now, this one test cannot, of course, prove or disprove psychometry. We'd have to run the test many times over and would have to be sure that the psychic was not either consciously or unconsciously picking up other clues from the object or from the subjects. The strange thing is that regardless of the evidence, we still believe in psychics, and many people seek them out to guide their lives. Remember, sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're wrong. Patrine, thank you for being courageous enough to come and participate in our program. It seems that you can do a lot of reading about writing. Any bookstore or library today offers a great selection of books on personality analysis through handwriting. Though psychometry may not be used in a serious commercial sense, evaluating personality and personal potential through handwriting is used. The use of graphology in business to assess people for purposes of employment is on the increase. In 1979, an estimated 85% of European firms used graphology for recruitment purposes, so that if you happen to apply to one of those firms, you might have been either selected or rejected by this process. Now, please welcome an expert graphologist, Mr. Duncan McIntosh. Duncan, thank you for coming tonight. In a few moments, you're going to demonstrate your expertise with the assistance of 5 volunteers. Now, graphologists often suggest that someone is in the wrong job based on an analysis of their handwriting.
40% of us are in the wrong job.
Now, normally you would be told by the company you're working for that they're looking for a particular person, a salesman, for example, and they'd ask you for an analysis of a handwriting sample. Is that right?
Right.
Well, tonight you've agreed to do this test with us. Earlier in the day, we gave you 5 examples of handwriting, each one from a different career, a career that you have designated as being suitable for this experiment. Well, we have a saleswoman, computer training officer, an artist, a secretary, and a farmer, and these 5 ladies are with us in the studio tonight. We've tried to avoid leaving any clues in the handwriting samples as to each person's career. Nevertheless, I understand that on the basis of graphological analysis, you've tried to allocate each sample to its author.
Right.
Now, the expected result by chance would be to get 1 out of the 5 correct, by chance alone, and there's a less than 1% chance of your getting all 5 correct. Let's start with sample A.
She is a person who is very adaptable. She can adapt herself anywhere, but at the same time, she's a little introverted. So I had a tussle whether it was the computer or the saleswoman, and I went for the saleswoman.
Thank you very much. Will Lady A please go to the sales ladies section? That would be the brush salesman right here, I believe. Now, what about number B here?
Yeah, that's a very difficult one, because you see, here is somebody who feels that they have not used all their talents. The job she should be doing, whatever she's doing, and I put her as computers.
So you placed Lady B in the computer profession?
I did.
I'm going to ask Lady B to step over behind the computer. All right, and what about C?
She's one who likes plenty of space, doesn't like to be cooped up. She is up in the clouds a bit. She does a lot of thinking, and I'm going to say something particularly definite here, and you can tell me whether it's right or whether it's wrong. Do you have a scar in your abdomen?
Wrong.
No, you don't.
No scar on the abdomen. What profession did you allocate this
Well,
lady?
I allocated her between the land, and in fact the sales.
You chose this lady?
I chose the land, that's right.
All right, this lady will step around to where we find the tractor down in the end there, please. And what about sample D?
Well, in sample D, I decided that this was the artist because of the intuition, considerable intuition here, and one who, in fact, is very versatile in all aspects. There is a lightness and delicacy to the handwriting.
So this lady is the artist, in your estimation. Very well. Would you step over behind the palette and the brushes, please? And finally, I think I can guess which one this is.
Yes, it was here between the secretary and the computer, and I came from the secretary because home life is vital, and she's logical as well, and she can good with people.
See, well, we have not much choice for you, young lady. Would you step over behind the typewriter, please, because you apparently are supposed to be the secretary. Well, I'm going to ask each one of these ladies in turn. First of all, number one, are you indeed a salesman? Vote with yes or no. You are not a salesperson. And number two, are you a computer expert? You are not. Number three, are you the artist? Ah, you are. And number four, are you that secretary we're looking for? Apparently not. And number five, are you a farmer? I see. Well, would you please move to the correct positions that you belong in, the four ladies that were not correct? Would you move to the correct positions? Now we know who is really in that profession. We expected that according to chance, Duncan, you would get one correct, and you got exactly one correct. Thank you very much, Duncan. We're very grateful for you coming along here this evening. Now, as we mentioned earlier, graphology is widely used on the continent, and its use is increasing here in Britain. But there seems to be quite a margin of error. How would you feel if your career depended on the analysis of your handwriting? We have some distinguished visitors in our audience tonight who should have something to say about this subject. Dr. Donald McLeod, how accurate do you think graphology is for recruitment purposes, for example?
No more accurate than your demonstration here tonight, I'm afraid. All the work that I've ever seen shows that the kinds of effects you get are random effects. And if you want to elaborate the idea of a random effect, imagine recruiting people by taking a pile of application forms, chucking them out the window, and choosing those that land face up. That's what random is. Is
there any proof, scientific proof, that's been established for its efficiency?
Not that I can find. I have looked at a lot of work, and people have been working on this, looking for things to see if it really does work. Because on the face of it, it's a nice idea. Your person is encapsulated in your handwriting, we feel. Therefore, you ought to be able to do something with it.
I see. Well, the gentleman seated beside you is RYSIEK PIASECKI, and he's with the English Glass Company. You're the chief executive of that company, I understand. How do you rate graphology and its success rate?
In context, very well. It can't be used in absolute terms, but I use it, the organization uses it, as part of the interviewing process, the selection process. And it assists us considerably in finding the right characteristics within a person, which would match with those characteristics in the job that we're looking for.
Can you give me an example?
Yes, I have a particular negative example where Duncan warned us against taking a person on, and he described him as being difficult to pin down and somewhat slippery. And we disregarded that, and a year on we fired him. And Duncan was absolutely right.
I see. Well, this demonstration that we gave tonight, limited though it was, does that change your opinion in any way?
No, I think one needs to turn it round. Clearly, a number of people are in the wrong job. To actually analyse from handwriting their profession or what job they're in, I think is almost impossible.
I see. Professor Jerry Mars, you have some opinions on this subject too. Would you like to share those with us?
Graphology is really a kind of magic. And it's a kind of magic because it fills the gap that you find in simple societies where science only takes you so far, knowledge only takes you so far, and you need something else. And magic comes in to fill this.
Why do you think, Professor, that people do rely on things like graphology, for example?
Because of insecurity. It's a very insecure job taking people into a firm. And especially is it insecure when you're taking them in as executives.
And